Abarera, Legos, Ram, Ori, Banish, C10, Demonio, Dinaja, 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 Abarera, Legos, Ram, Demonio. Dinaja. Abarera. Legos. Ram. Ori. Banish. C10. 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 Demonio. Dinaja. Abarera. Legos. Ram. Ori.
Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Apocrypha. I am Adius Dade, and the guy doing the dance on the beach there, what looks like could potentially be a beach, is Mystic Salon. How's it going,
Yeah,
everybody?
I see lots of people in the house.
I was waiting for Mystic to say something.
Lots of people in the house. I
It's
was
good.
shuffling and thinking at the same time. And then I saw Scarlet's rainbowy
Uh,
symbol, and I see Tree Sap, and I see Aaron and Slim and Sad World, and God, people.
yeah, yeah. So it
At
is. It
least we
is.
think they're people.
Right? Well, I hope so. Well, it's good to see everybody. It's good to see everybody. Interesting show tonight. I mean, interesting to know. We're going to touch on some topics that we've talked about on several different occasions. But it's in the news of the occult, and we're probably going to have to. We're not probably. We're going to have to cover it. We got to talk about it. Right? Gotta get it out there. Um, so, and obviously, if you guys can't tell by the title of the show, it's, well, TST was attacked yet again. Right?
Yet again.
So, I'm just curious why it's specifically TST. Like, I mean, Church of Satan doesn't, nobody's
Well,
tried to blow
Church of
them up.
Satan. Church of Satan doesn't really like get into stuff. TST kind of gets in your face a little bit more, I think.
Okay, I see that. I see
Like
that.
Church
Yeah.
of Satan is kind of like they're there and they'll like bite you if you try to stick your hand in the cage. But
Yep.
somebody let TST out. The TST's roaming everywhere.
That makes sense. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, TST is a little bit more um, aggressive with their existence than
And there's
than.
something about the guy with the eye, Lucian.
Oh yeah, Lucian Greaves,
I just call him the guy with the eye. I think he has one glass eye, if I'm not mistaken.
something like that.
Yep.
Something like that.
He's so annoyingly calm. Like I like him. I think he's a really cool dude. Like listening about him. I don't know him obviously, but
Right.
listening and learning and reading from him and stuff, I like. Uh but he is way too calm. It's really freaking creepy.
Yeah.
Well, they murdered my whole family, but it is, we'll do it. I'm like, what, sir?
Exactly. Like, wait,
You
what?
okay?
Exactly, exactly.
Oh, I'm fixing my deck.
Gilmore? I don't. Scarlett said I do not think Gilmore has a open property for TST.
Yeah, I don't think Gilmore does anything with TST, does he? He doesn't like them. He hates TST. Well, doesn't hate. That's more of a Legiborden thing.
Oh, we're talking about a
But
person.
we're talking about the Gilmore I think about, the only Gilmore that comes up.
Okay, so like okay, so this is like so out of touch I am. I see Gilmore. The first thing I think of is the Gilmore Girls.
Oh dear. I think
TV
the
show.
Peter Gil is it Peter Gilmore, the Church of Satan LeVay's runner up? The
You thought Happy Gilmore?
hey,
Gilmore, that is head of Satanic Church.
yeah.
The Satanic Church. Okay.
Yeah, he's the head of the Church of Satan, I believe, at this point, kind of pulling LeVay's torch. And then you got the Satanic Filian Society, who hates everybody else, and the Satanic Temple, who just ignores everybody else, and it's just fun.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
Peter, yeah,
fun. You know,
it's joy.
animosity all around. All right. So
Great way
what
to be.
what deck do you have for us this week? Ephemer.
Ephemera, the Ephemera deck. It is kind of a consort almost to the True Black. It's by True Black Tarot LLC, but it is the white consort to the True Black. It's a deck I've used before. It's been a while, but it is definitely one that I enjoy. Happy Gilmore. That Gilmore, yeah. When was the last time we did a read?
Been a couple weeks, I think.
I've done a couple actually today, even. So, let's see what is in store. You'll recognize if you've seen or used the True Black Tarot, you're going to recognize their style almost immediately here. So I'm going to pull the cards first because it's very humid here, and they're sticking together a little bit. Super high quality card.
Sticky.
Love the back. So they are reversible, and you can't really tell what the reverse is, which is also kind of cool in my opinion. Let's see. We started this week with an eclipse.
We started what with eclipse?
This week, didn't we? Wasn't that Monday?
Something like that.
The total eclipse. So our first card is death.
Yay!
So I think one of the things that death represents actually fits really well within the solar eclipse, because you have that moment of liminal and that moment of transition, right? When you have totality, you get to see everything from a completely different perspective. That's what happens with death, right? On the other side of death, you will have a completely new perspective. So be on the lookout this week for things that are from a different perspective or that need to be seen from a different perspective. Don't jump right out and say no to something. Don't be like, I don't like this, or this thing is bad, or I don't want to do this thing, or maybe I do want to do this thing. What you really need to do first before you do anything is check and see what is it actually saying. What if you look at it in a different way? Are you going to be able to see something else, something that might actually, benefit from you or benefit for you? So that is that one. Our second card is 9 of Swords. You can't see it, but these are there's gray and gold inlay, which is pretty cool. Oh, I may do that little tree sap. 9 of Swords, man. This is that not so good omen of, hey, we're kind of right outside the door of failure, and what are we going to do about it? Are we going to learn something from it? So while we're also looking at things from a different perspective, we have to be prepared that we're not always going to get it the way we want it, because maybe there's something that needed to happen differently than what you know. This doesn't mean you can't create your own destiny and work through your own processes, but we have to have failures in order to learn how to manifest properly, in my opinion. So that is one of the things that really does stick out with the 9 of Swords. There's going to be failure. You're going to have to get through it. You're going to have to, allow it to happen so that you can work through what you're trying to do. And that's just going to be important. All right. So then our last card here. Sorry, I'm outside. There's a bug. All right. So this card. Oh God, sorry. Hold on one second. Things are blowing everywhere.
Yay!
Not that kind of blowing everywhere. To be the 5 of Pentacles. So the 5 of Pentacles, this is a very, to me, one of the most grounded cards in the tarot. This is that right smack in the middle of Earth. I'm putting in all this hard work. I'm doing all these things that are going on. This is right head into that new perspective that we have to watch out for, and right in the middle of all the things that we're doing. So yeah, there's going to be some failure, but if you leave yourself grounded, you're going to still get to the goal that you're trying to get to, just from a different way. And if you don't change the way that you're trying to do it, you're not going to get it done right. So that's what's important in the message from these 3 cards together for the energy we're running into. It's grounding energy. It's very strong but stable energy, and we have to not change it, we have to change our response to it and our perspective of it so that we can have the outcome that we're looking for. Whew, and that is it. Happy Hanukkah, y'all.
So the second card where you mentioned failure,
The Nine of
could
Swords.
could failure, could that also be kind of representative of kind of like an ending of something?
So the Ten of Swords to me is the actual full failure of the thing. The Nine is the mental preparation for it.
Okay.
Being that swords are this air card, right? They're this mindfulness or this mindset, not mindfulness, mindset
Mm-hmm.
to this. Um, it's it's almost like you see it, you're seeing it crumble, but you can either just like, okay, this is crumbling, my life is over, everything sucks, or hey, I see this is crumbling, but oh my god, I didn't think about trying this. Now I get to try this, right?
Yeah, it's just I think we're kind of like on the
But the
same
death,
page. Just like
the death is coloring it though. By itself, it's maybe a little different, but with death in there, that's really what you're changing,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, it's like kind of like the idea of trying to make something work, figuring out that it's not going to work, and that failure of trying to get that thing to work, and then kind of it coming to an end and finding
Yeah.
there's something else.
And it's not the same as letting go or just letting it happen. That's very passive. It's I'm going to actively participate in this crumbling and this failure so that I can do something even better in the long run.
Uh-huh.
It's like saying like this thing isn't meant for me, or maybe this thing is meant for me, but not by this manner.
Yeah.
I have pulled so this is just one sword, but I pulled 3 earlier today. I pulled a bunch of swords yesterday, so I'm really feeling that we're in a swords movement at the moment.
Does Rook know you're pulling on all these swords that aren't his?
Yes, and he loves it too.
Okay. He's just got to check and make sure.
Although we're more prone to the wands.
Okay. So you don't really like the pointy ones. Yeah. Like the
It's
stubby
actually
ends.
accurate, but yes.
Okay. You
He's
like the
sitting right
stubby
beside me, by the
ends.
way.
All right. That's good. That's good. Oh,
It's width, not length, y'all.
you know,
I mean, wait, what are we talking about?
right? It would not be an episode of Apocrypha if we didn't turn every fucking thing into some type of weird innuendo. So, I see. Right. So moving into what happened. So when did this happen? When did the article say that this thing happened?
I don't remember, but it was current.
Yeah. So let me just open up the article here. Yeah, I'm gonna open up on the.
So this, I'm assuming you're talking about the article about the bomb at TST. Thankfully, it didn't go off, right?
Yeah, it didn't go off. I mean, it kind of fizzled.
It
Like that's what
fizzled.
they said. It fizzled. Like it did cause damage, but it didn't explode
It
the
didn't
way
explode.
the way that it was like intended to. Right. Let's see. So read more. All right. So. Yeah, so police and federal authorities are investigating after an explosive device was thrown onto the porch of the Satanic Temple. Honestly, the porch of the Satanic Temple is getting so much hate.
It really is. They need to make it metal.
Right? Fucking porch. How many goddamn times are these people going to have to redo the porch?
Well, that was okay. So was that the Satanic Temple or Church of Satan?
No, Satanic Temple.
Satanic Temple, yeah. The ones that keep getting hit.
Yep, they're the ones that they're the ones that keep getting hit. So, Satanic Temple in Salem, Massachusetts. The Salem Police Department said the device was left at the Bridge Street Temple around 4:14 in the morning, Monday, damaging the building. So it says Monday. I don't know which Monday. No one was inside at the time, and the device and damage were not found until staff got to the building around 4 p.m., police said. While initially giving few details, police asked the public to avoid Bridge Street between Beacon and Osgood. Given the seriousness of the investigation and clear skilled professionalism of those involved, I am confident the perpetrator will not long remain unknown. Lucian Greaves, co-founder and spokesperson for the Satanic Temple, wrote in an email to NBC 10 Boston. So, yeah, I mean, the thing that really irritates me about this whole thing, obviously the pipe bomb thing does irritate the shit out of me, right? But what really bothers me, so somewhere in this article, I got to scroll through it.
I'm guessing they have no clue who did it, or did they arrest somebody? I couldn't hear you.
No, they don't know who did it yet. At least in this article, they're not.
Crazy.
Yeah, so somewhere in this article, because I read it before and now it doesn't seem to be popping up, but they actually had they recalled the event when somebody tried to catch the porch on fire. The dude that had the God T-shirt on. And one thing that they said in this article that they didn't say initially when that had happened is that the guy said that, you know, he really just wanted the whole thing to burn to the ground, and if there were people inside of it and that they got hurt, he wouldn't lose any sleep over it. And I'm just like,
it's rough.
What? Like,
which I said, well, that's true Satanist right there.
Right?
He's doing his thing. He's manifesting his shit. Ugh.
So, and apparently it looks like this pipe bomb thing got bumped up to action. Okay, they called in the FBI's terrorism task force.
I just don't understand why people. I mean, I get mental illness and stuff, but why? What is the end goal of that? That it doesn't. You know, it doesn't make things better, and they have to know. Maybe they don't know that.
Well, this is the thing that. Okay, so this is my idea. I have nothing to prove this. But I honestly think if somebody disagrees with me, they're an idiot. Okay, except for, unless it's Mystic. If Mystic disagrees with me, he's not an idiot. But how many times have I said, with as many of these evangelical extremists as there are online, screaming and ranting and raving about going to war against the devil and the devil's denizens, which, if you guys aren't aware, is all of us, okay? Somebody was going to get stupid and actually do something.
They would do that even without that, though. People are psychotic.
Yeah, but it just seems like when you got people like that pushing it further and further, talking about putting on their Christ armor and going to war against the devil and, you know, stuff like that, you know, it's like, I mean, somebody's going to get hurt. Like right now, TST has gotten lucky. The guy that tried to, like, obviously these guys are idiots, right? Whoever did both of these things, they're idiots. Because the dude that tried to burn the place down didn't really cause that much damage on the porch. Yeah, it was discolored, it was burnt and stuff like that, but it didn't catch on fire. Somebody else comes along and throws a pipe bomb, which doesn't explode. It kind of fizzles and does the same thing. So obviously we're not running into people that have any actual tactical knowledge of actually how to do these things in a way that causes severe damage. Thankfully. But eventually, I mean, if we look at the frequency that these things are happening, I'm not saying that they're happening all the time. I'm not saying that they're happening super frequent, because they're not, right? But they're happening frequently enough that eventually, in a short period of time, somebody's going to succeed in what it is that they're trying to do. And I just hope nobody gets hurt. What's up, Rook? How's it going, man?
My.
So, I mean, what do you think?
I mean, I agree. It is. Well, it's not even an agree. It's just it is what it is. There's this thing where, but the thing is, it has always been, always will be, and it's not just a religious thing. It's a tribal thing to a degree too, because it's not just the Satanic Temple is getting it. I mean, how many? And I know it's not the same thing. Please don't think I'm trying to just directly compare these things. but it's the underlying human behavior that I'm talking about. The shootings that happen in the churches that have
Yep.
been quite a few of those. Most of those I think have been racially motivated.
Probably.
And the Boston bomber. I mean, just all the different things that people do. It's because people suck. It is definitely getting worse, but I think it's getting worse for everybody. My big thing is like we're seeing an uptick in anti-gay stuff and people. I remember
I've noticed that.
I was at a meeting when I was 16 years old in it was, I don't want to say underground meeting, but it was like a meeting in the back of a bookstore because we were afraid to meet in public and I needed to be around people that were like me and it was nice. And somebody threw a book in the through the glass window with a burning rag around it. That was Lambda Rising in Norfolk, where I'm from. And that was really, really bad, and it got really kind of messy. So, but yeah.
Well, it's like, I mean, okay, talking about the homophobia, I sent Mystic a video earlier because I thought it was hilarious as fuck. But I mean,
It was funny.
But there is a good, like, there's a very solid point behind it. There's this guy, he owns a farm, and he had a pride flag on
I've
his
seen that, by the way, but yeah.
on his barn, and some random lady decided to tell him that he could not have a pride flag on his barn. And she actually went on his property, used his ladder,
And took it down.
and took it down.
Yep.
But I loved his response. He painted the fucking barn rainbow.
I'm really, really proud of him for that. But that makes him a target too, which is the sad part. Now he is even bigger target for bad things happening.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I used to have a rainbow sticker on my car when I was younger, and my car got vandalized so many times, broken into, windows broken, punched, kicked. Little teeny little rainbow on the corner. Got rid of that and never had a problem again.
That's so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but stuff like that. So, is this the same thing? No. Is it expected? No. Should it be expected? No. Do we need to specifically fight against things specific to this content? Absolutely, because you put out the forest fire by putting out the trees. But it's not. It's not. I don't even think it's religious, even though it's religious motivated or racial motivated. All those things. It comes down to tribal people are fucking idiots, and we're not in tribe. That's not where we are now. We have evolved past what we are really capable of being.
Well, I mean, yes.
Or maybe our evolving is going too fast in one degree and one not fast enough in another.
I agree with that. I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
We are in a situation where psychologically, or at least on a mental level, we do need to begin to kind of evolve outside of our tribalistic natures. And we all have our tribalistic natures, hence the reason why we have cliques in high school and we have, friend groups and stuff like that, right? Because we are not, like, we are a global society, but we're not a global species, right?
And this is I want to bring this up now because this is maybe a little bit of insight into the disagreement we have about loving everybody.
Okay.
Because it's not. I'm looking at it from a different perspective, which doesn't make it better or right. It's just a different perspective. It's one of the things I don't like about LeVay and his conversation about love only the people that matter to you. Yes, true. You do have more value for those individuals because of your closeness, but you have to be aware that's why. You could just as easily be as close to somebody else if that's where you were born or where you were, and all those people belong to somebody. So in that manner, I hold love for everybody, insofar as they exist, even the ones that are total fuck-ups, because so many of the things that happen in life and in the world are done because of just your circumstances. Yes, you can choose to make differences. Yes, some people get out of it. Yes, some people go into all of the bad things. It doesn't matter. And I know I'm going off the center a little bit, but that ties into that idea of who is my tribe. Yes, and I've learned this recently. I think I've talked about this in here. We left our tribe of people pretty much. And today was the first time we met with them. Sure. This is the first time we met with them. And a water, please. In months. And it was nice. But my connection's not there anymore with them in the same way. Very different.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean that they're any less valuable now? According to LeVay
LeVay.
in general, it would be. But that's not the case. These people are still just as valuable. And that is the only way we will ever begin to solve throwing a bomb on the Satanic Temple porch. Because those people in there are valuable, and we're teaching them to be unvaluable. And Satanism teaches that people outside of you are literally says it. They're unvaluable. They're not, they have no value to you. You do not love them. You do not care for them. You protect your family against them. That's the type of rhetoric that sets us separate that Christians do that makes us go to war. That went around in a big circle.
No, but I see where you're coming from, and I think the way that I look at it is slightly differently. So
it is, and most people do.
Like I can't say that I hold love for everybody. I can't. I just cannot say that. I can, however, say that I am open to the potential of possibly having, the caring for another individual that I don't know.
So you have to, in my opinion, again, I agree with you. I think that's how a lot of people take it, and that is probably a better way to look at it. I don't think that's what LeVay is saying necessarily. I think he's taking a much harder line to it. At least Gilmore thinks so, from what I read in his stuff. But when I first came into this stream and I opened it up and saw you play, you were doing tarot with the angel. No, the fairy oracle deck.
Yep.
Everybody that I spoke with in there had value. Certainly they weren't part of my tribe, but if I treat other people as being of insignificance, then it really does put me at an against you kind of way. You know what I mean?
Oh no, you're right.
I don't know that it's the same for maybe us, because people like I'll be honest, the group of people that come in here that we talk, I'm not saying that we're better than anybody or that we're just special, but I get a feeling that most of the people in the chat, and a lot of times when we talk, our statements and feelings are not, sorry, bike going by really loud in my ear, not so sharp. It's, how do I say it? We recognize the nuance in some of these things. But when that nuance gets lost and people then go talk about it, like put on my Christian armor, put on God as my shield, we're kind of doing the same thing sometimes. And we say, I can't love this person who I don't know. Because when you say that, you devalue them, and you have to value people. Well, you don't have to give them your stuff or your time.
Let me pause you real quick before I forget, right? So there was something you said like a little bit before this about, like having that hard line and kind of like cutting out and pushing away essentially kind of people that aren't part of your circle. Being open to the potential of having a personally valuing another person inside of my circle. The only way to do that is to be open enough to let them have a foot in, because if you're not open enough to let them have a foot in, then you are never going to be able to know whether or not this person is going to be. So everyone needs an opportunity, right? So,
but I think even you start with the value of other people. It's not just that. It's not even an opportunity. If somebody comes to you and does the worst thing possible to you, and you don't consider them, like they're not part of your tribe, then that doesn't make them any less part of somebody else's tribe. And I guess my mindset on that is a little bit different as far as like how we're all connected in some ways, even with the assholes. But it just seems like the more we do it, the worse it gets.
I get what you're saying. I mean, and I'm going to be completely honest. Like the only other place that I've really heard anything really, really like this is inside of Christianity. The idea of that, this might not be your brother, but it's somebody's brother. It might not.
That's more love the sinner, hate the sin.
Exactly. Well, I mean, that's kind of what you're saying.
For me, no. You don't have to love the sin or the sinner. You have to have value and love for people as a unit, as a whole thing. I don't have to let you into my circle. I don't have to love you as a brother. I don't have to love you as anything. But I do have to have a version of love for you as a human. It's where my compassion, my empathy, and my sympathy comes from. It's how we can engage people that are on the other side of the aisle and not put on our armor to fight them. You know what I mean?
See, I don't. Okay, so I agree with you about the empathy and the compassion. I have empathy and compassion for people that I don't know,
So
and
that means that you have a level of what I call, maybe that's the difference, the definition of what I call love for other people.
see, I don't call it that. I call it what it is. I have compassion and empathy for humanity, and
Thank
an
you.
understanding or an attempt at an understanding of the situations. Okay, stupid example. Stupid example. I'm part of a PC parts group on Facebook, right? And there's this guy that just finished building his PC, and
You
apparently his house burnt down,
get one?
right? His house caught on fire, and he needed to sell the PC that he just put together because he needed to get money together for repairs and, finding a place to go and stuff like that. And
So
somebody in
not
the
alcohol, just for the so you don't get in trouble.
we're not going to get
It
in
happens to
trouble.
be in a small glass. Oh, okay, I didn't know. Go ahead.
So, and somebody in the comments told him to trick out his mom, right? Like to make money. And nobody asked me for my opinion. Like I had nothing to do with it, but I was kind of irritated by it. And I said, it's kind of grade school to attack somebody that's going through hard times, and try to throw their mother into it. Like, I mean, that's kind of grade school, don't you think? Like, I mean, I understand the whole concept of, oh yeah, your mama jokes and stuff like that. Yeah, they can be funny, but there's a time and place for everything. Like in like emotional maturity and understanding when is the correct time and the correct place to, use or say such things. This was not one of them, and we need to have a little bit more, human empathy and compassion for understanding another person's situation. So
Well,
and yeah,
it does. I mean, it makes sense. It does draw back to like the kind of combination of TST and the other article that you were talking about. It's all about you know, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? How you define love and to me, empathy, compassion, those things come out of that. Like you can, I do not feel that I could have empathy for somebody else if I don't love them as a individual and have them as a space. It's definitely not a I love everybody and I want everybody at my table. It's more of that I want you to have a table, just not mine.
you see, I think for me, what I've come down to for me is I don't like using the word love only because I feel like using it too much, it it belittles the value and the meaning of the word when you say it at such a large scale, right?
Yeah, I think it
I
makes
can
it bigger
I can
and
care
better
about
and
people.
more.
You're going to hate this. So I guess we're going to agree to disagree. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, it's not even that. Let's say we're allowed to have different definitions of what love we're talking about. What
Yep.
scale? It's macro, micro. I think. I
I
think
just
you're
define
thinking more
it.
on a micro scale, and I'm thinking a macro scale, and it's what it is.
I care about everybody. I can say that. I care about humanity. I care about people. Like, I can say that. I won't say that I love them. You know, um, I just say I care about them. I empathize with them. I have compassion for the problems that they're going through, even if I can't help them. For as much as, like, I wish I had like billions and billions of dollars because all the people that I see that like
Um,
need help and stuff like that, I would love to just dump money onto people.
if if
But
you could look out into a field of 1 billion people and know that one of those people in that billion is going to be the next person that you spend the rest of your life with, you better love that 1 billion people.
shouldn't I just
That
love the one
person's out
person?
there. Everybody's somebody to somebody, right?
I mean, I get what you're
Well,
saying. I get what
again,
you're saying. I mean,
definition.
yeah, I get what you're
I think by
saying.
limiting the love, to me that makes it weaker. By limiting it to say like, can't use that. Is that more about love or is that more about you and your history of how you use the word and the
Hmm.
fear of what it means?
I mean,
I mean that is what it is for me. I don't say love you to very
uh-huh.
few people, not even family. I just don't. It's a general principle for me. It's not a heart to heart feeling. It's weird. Anyway, but the whole idea behind it was regardless of what it is, it's if we don't figure a way not to have everybody in such separate buckets,
I agree
we're
with
going to
you there.
continue to be,
Well, as for as much as like, so I don't want to say that I expect these things to happen. I don't want to say that, there's nothing that can be done about it. But at the end of the day, there really isn't anything that can be done to really prevent it. There really isn't anything that can be done. It's going to happen regardless. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't talk about it. It doesn't
correct.
mean that, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to find a way to, help or coast people in getting along with each other by spreading positive education and explaining things to people. And obviously there's always going to be those people that just simply don't want to learn or can't for whatever reason. And so I don't want to say that like talking about it isn't going to do anything, because it does, but it is going to happen, unfortunately, because of how society is and the current evolutionary state of the human brain, and how we are still very reptilian and very tribal.
Mm-hmm.
The violence isn't going to stop.
No, and I don't think it ever will. I think that there's so many people on every single side of the sphere, which is, I think, how it's supposed to be. That there's never going to be an answer to all of it. I do like the verb, or the idea of civility too. Like that's also a good way to look at it. I think a little sterile for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit like tolerance, which I'm also not a fan of. However, it does start with that. That would make a big difference. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. And it's
Why
just
a bomb? Like, why a bomb? What made it take somebody to that level, or to touch my property?
yeah, the bomb. Because the thing is like with a
I'm
bomb,
gonna love you right into the earth with my fist.
like
That's love.
a bomb is kind of like next level, because if it would have gone off, like we're not just talking, if anyone was crossing the street, 'cause I saw the pictures, the sidewalk is not very far from where that porch is. If
No.
it would have gone off and somebody was walking past, there's a definite potential for people to get hurt, like severely, right? And most pipe bombs are full of shrapnel, right? That's how they're designed. They have nails in
Yep.
them. They have, screws and other pieces of metal, inside of them, wood, to make sure that it continues to burn. So pipe bombs go off. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. So I'm just thankful that it didn't go off. Whoever did it was an idiot. And
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that. They're an idiot on
Very
multiple
much.
levels. Yeah, they're an idiot for doing it to begin with. They're an idiot because obviously it didn't work, which is we're thankful for the fact that they're an idiot at that level at least. So, and I'm just thankful that there's just a little bit of cosmetic damage to the porch. That was it, But it's concerning, because I feel like right now it's attacking the like the most, like Mystic said, the most public organization, satanic organization there is, which is the
They do
Satanic
the
Temple.
most good out of the groups, right? Like they're the ones that are doing all the
They are actually doing
the
shit. Like you actually
doing
see
stuff.
TSC. They're cleaning up the beaches. They're doing like humanitarian shit. I mean, I don't agree with all of their tactics, but they do a lot more shit than other
It's a
organizations
frat. Like it's really like a fraternity
do. It is actually.
that does decent things.
Exactly. So, regardless of my agreeing or disagreeing with the Satanic Temple on, their tactics with certain things, that's irrelevant to the good that they actually do for the community at large. And not just the occult community, but just the human community. Like, because they do things that aren't focused on the occult. They do things that are focused on just, general local humanitarian efforts, feeding the poor, cleaning up beaches, stuff like that. So, in my opinion, I think they're doing a lot more with a lot less than what the church does. When I say the church,
Yep.
I'm talking, the church takes in billions and billions of dollars. Where the hell does that go? Building other
Stained
churches.
glass windows.
Stained glass windows. Yeah, exactly. Huge stained glass windows.
Yep.
right? And making sure the Vatican is as pristine as possible, right? Because that's where that goes,
Yeah.
right? So, I think like it does. I think the church takes more in donations than like the entire federal government does in taxes.
Like tithes.
Yeah.
You better pay Jesus. We need to do a Dollars for Jesus campaign. See how much we can raise.
Well, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Like instead of like, I mean, I guess if you're a Christian, it makes sense for you to give a shit ton of money to the church because then you can write it off on your taxes, right?
Yeah.
And it increases your what you get back because you gave the money to the church and then you don't have to pay it in taxes. I guess. I mean, that seems like a fucked up circle to live in, though. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
that it seems wrong. You
There's
know,
no word.
yeah, everybody's getting a tax break on Jesus's back. Uh,
I'll do some. Never mind. Never mind. Just kidding.
you can break Jesus's back, huh? So,
Jesus, Jesus is the same thing.
right, exactly. You know, so yeah, it's sad to see this level of violence continuing. I'm glad it's not happening as often as it could. Um, you know, part of me's thinking I'm starting to like doubt whether or not these are isolated incidents. You know, like I'm not 100% convinced that they're not isolated, but if it happens again within the next year at the same spot, the same place, I'm really gonna start to
Thumbs up.
think that yeah,
Yeah.
something's up. Like because
They don't have cameras or something there. Like they really.
well, it seems like there was just enough time that passed between the guy trying to burn the porch and this dude, or whoever this was, throwing the bomb on there, for things to relax in the area. You know what I mean? Like somebody tries to burn the porch down, everything's super tense for like a while. Almost a year goes by, and now there's a bomb on there, right? It doesn't. It seems intelligent. You know what I mean? Like
It does. Yeah.
they're waiting for things to calm down to have another opportunity. So, like again, I'm kind of going the conspiracy theory route with this, but it just seems like once, okay, twice maybe, but if it happens again, like somebody's organizing this shit, right? And you know we're and never mind if I say that we're gonna get banned. I can't say that, but yeah, it's sad to see. You know,
Very much.
in 2024, you know, where we talk so much about inclusivity and just, you know, kind of accepting people for who they are and just live and let live and all that. And
Yeah.
you know, you have to be scared. You have to be scared. I mean, you know, I hate I keep bringing this up because it's what about 2 years old now, but you know, Mystic had his own brush with, you know, somebody giving him shit at work for being, you know, pagan. Like not even
Yeah.
being satanic or anything like that or left hand path, just being pagan. You know, and I mean, thankfully, you know, he had a great support, you know, at his company, and you know, nothing happened, and the situation was, you know, diffused rather quickly. But that shouldn't happen. You shouldn't be attacked because your beliefs are different.
Yeah.
You know, and people have given me shit in comments about how like the things like when we do videos about, you know, Melinda, right? And the thing is, the one thing that I always say is I never attack somebody for what they believe. Like you can believe whatever you want to believe, but when you start to attack me and mine
Yeah.
inside of your beliefs, that's where you can't use me as the poster child of why your beliefs need to exist or the people that are like me. And once you do that, then of course I'm going to defend myself and I'm going to defend the people in my community. That's just how it is. You know, so I don't attack people outright because that's just stupid and that's childish, but I will defend our beliefs against people that want to sit there and say that we're the reason evil exists in the world. You know, so
Yep, 100%.
That's it. So, damn, has it been an hour already? It has been an hour already.
Mhm.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Well, everyone, on that note, I need to trim my mustache, because if you guys see me touching my nose, it's because the hair on my mustache is going up and prickling on my nose, and it's really irritating. So I need to kind of give it a little bit of a trim so that doesn't happen. Mystic's checking himself out in the camera. He's like, so everyone, I hope you would, I hope you. Oh, see
The
that?
dive this thing.
It looks good like that. Like when the way you had it cut before, like you had it like super.
We're going through that again.
Yeah, that
what
was
I'm
a good
doing
look.
now.
That was a good look. So I know talking about this stuff is not really kind of like super fun, right? But like I said, when it happens, I think it's needed. Like we need to talk about it. So I thank everybody for coming out. It's been a blast as always. I will see you guys on Sunday for the Satanic Mass, or the Black Mass. And you don't go live this weekend, do you?
No. Nope. I don't think so. We don't go live this weekend, do we? Nope. First and third.
Okay, first and third. So, all right. So on that note, I will see you guys on Sunday for the Black Mass. All right, and thank you all for being here. And as always, hail thy fucking self. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace the fuck out,
Deuces.
everybody.